What's up, guys? So, for those of you who have noticed, I haven't posted Call of Duty videos in a long time. And I'll tell you why. Call of Duty community fucking sucks. Most of it, not all of it, now before people start taking clips out of my videos and saying I said this and I said that, let me clarify. Most of the Call of Duty community is a bunch of bitches. One in particular, and one most recently, is a certain, Wings of Redemption. Yeah, you know, the, big old real builder from the south, it's your boy, Wings of Redemption, got a gangster. Yeah, no, dude, you're a bitch. I really didn't mind him being on YouTube and doing whatever. What a sec. Didn't mind him being on YouTube. I didn't really care either way. But, was it last week? Yeah, probably right around this time last week. Well, actually, no, he's been doing Twitter, for, the past month complaining. Oh, that sucks. Oh, I'm supporting 9 people. The only one worth it. I hate YouTube so hard. Oh, I sit here and make so much money, I owe so many in taxes because I'm a jackass and don't know how to manage my money. I'm a bitch to Twitter because I don't have any real friends. Yeah, so he'd been doing that for about a month. And I think it all came to a climax on, I want to say last weekend, where he ultimately said that he was contemplating committing suicide. Way to go, Wings. That's a stand-up citizen right there. Yep. Claiming that you're gonna commit suicide. And then he goes on and, because I'll called him out on his bullshit. And he's like, yeah, well, all you do is bitch, Which he does. All he does is bitch. And Wing said, well, quote here, quote, I should do, okay, quote, Ohio's only about 8 hours away from me. If I go down, I'm taking you down with me. End quote. And, yeah, so that's, I don't know if Wings is retarded or just doesn't think, but that's if I was up Wrestler, fuck, I would have taken that shit right to the cops, got him arrested. Fucking dumbass piece of shit deserves it. And then he goes, oh, well, El Presidor supported me wanting to kill myself, and, I could use that in a court case too, and how you gonna pay for a court case when you're still paying off your taxes, buddy? That's what I thought. You can't. So, I decided to call him out on Twitter about it. And, I'm just sitting there saying, if you're this, that, and the other, then, why you sitting there talking about, well, I just bought a new office and I need to buy new flooring, I need to buy new this, I need to buy new that. If you were really in as much trouble with the taxes as you try to make people believe, then you want to be buying all this shit. Don't want to rant about, I gotta go get the iPhone 5 because, I need it. You don't need it, you want it. And, of course, your stupid fat ass goes and gets it. And you complain about how YouTube's so hard of a job. Okay, now, I'm gonna tell you something. Not for pity or anything like that, but, there's a lot of people, and, there was a big podcast, on the Bad Kid podcast. DJ Keemstar got a whole bunch of people together, and, I believe it was Duranker who made a very valid point that there's a lot of people who would love to be in the financial situation that Wings has of earning income for making videos. Just making videos, and that's it. Playing a game of Call of Duty, playing some stupid commentary over it, and rambling in a southern accent and all that bullshit. It's your boy Wings of Redemption. I gotta act ghetto. Yeah, I mean, anybody could do that. But, I mean, come on. It's not that hard of a job. But the ranker probably pointed out best that there's a lot of people who want to be in that situation. A lot of people who A, can't find a job, B, can't afford to feed their families because of the shitty economy, and C, he doesn't have it that hard. And then, Wayne's just sitting there talking about, oh, well, I've worked a real job, but I don't want to work a real job. That's why I do YouTube, but, I don't have any real friends. I don't have any friends outside of YouTube, so that's why I've been to Twitter. Let that sink in for a minute. Okay. So, you're gonna sit there and complain the reason why you've been bitching to Twitter for God knows how long is because you don't have any real friends. Then go get some. You sit there talking about, oh, me and my brother play video games all day. Me and my brother I got to smell so me and my brother can play. Me and my brother are gonna go to the gym. You know what? Go talk to your brother. Or is he like the rest of us and don't give a shit? And so I'm sitting there, I'm watching this podcast. I mean, Woody's in there, he's trying to, he's trying to keep the peace like Woody usually does. Which is fine. I mean, I respect him for doing that. I mean, he usually tries to keep the drama to a minimum. White boy's going in there, white boy's completely laying into Wings. I'm loving every minute of it. I mean, he's just laying into him, calling him a view whore, calling him a cancer to the community. Then, he kind of went and took it back, so I guess that bears no meaning. But what he was saying in that stream was, it was about time someone called him out on it, I've been saying it to Wings on Twitter, but, you'll only, see, what's funny is he would respond quite a bit, but, he would only respond, when he felt that it was something worth responding to. Like, I'm gonna try to see if I can find the last thing he said to me before he blocked me. Let's see. Here we go. So, on the 24th, which was last week, let's see. I can't even look up the conversation. But, here we go. Mentioned how he was, faking suicide. That way people would feel sympathy for him and try to go to his YouTube page. So, leave nice comments of, oh, Wings, don't do that. We love you. We miss you. You're a big inspiration. Irony, in that podcast that Wings was in, they were saying that he's been an inspiration to people. He goes, well, hell, I ain't never met none of them yet. That's why your Twitter supposedly gets blown up all the time. People saying that, that they have. So, basically, all his fanboys were attacking me. One of them tells me, think what I want, LOL, I want to end this and keep Wings with us. And I told him, well, the irony is that he wasn't going to kill himself, is that he was going to do it for views because he claims that he doesn't have fans, or that he doesn't have friends. So, one of his little fanboys responds, well, we're all his fans, and most of us desire to be his friends. Really? Really? So, I told WingsofRedemption, flat out, hey dumbass, you may want to focus on getting all your taxes paid off before you worry about getting an iPhone 5 and all this other shit and sitting here all emo depressed on Twitter blowing up everyone's shit when half of us don't even care about it. His response: lots of people owe taxes. That is why they have a payback system in place. I'm paying my taxes and probably paying your share too. Well, I will give you a dose of irony here. I don't have a job because I currently, you may notice this thing right here. Let me get you a little better view of that. That is where I used to have a dialysis catheter. Because yes, I have level 5 renal failure, which means I need to be on dialysis to stay alive. Oh no, I'm sure this is going to be great for the comment section because, everyone's going to be like, oh, can't wait for your kidneys, Swado. Oh. Yep, heard it all before, so just type away. So, irony of that is that, back to the Ranker's point, how he said that there was people who wish they could be in Wings' situation. Yeah, I wish I could, I wish I could be able to support my family, I live with just me and my mom and my brother. And, my mom works a hell of a lot. My brother works a hell of a lot. I don't because I can't. I have, my hands are literally tied by my kidney failure. So yeah. So, if Wings wants to make an assumption that, he's gonna be paying my taxes. Funny thing is, he lives all the way down South Carolina, and I live all the way in the Northeast. I don't think he's paying my taxes. No. To people who do have to, quote unquote, pay my share of the taxes, you know what? I appreciate it because hell, when I was, how old was I got diagnosed with kidney failure when I was 16 at stage 1 renal failure. And at that time, I was a fun little cashier at Wendy's, so yeah, I have worked a job. I worked there for about 3 years. And then I quit because by that time I was entering stage 4 of kidney failure, which required dialysis, and I would not be able to work with that. And then eventually, over time, my kidney just kind of went, and then got to stage 5. So I've had stage 5 for a while. I've been on peritoneal dialysis now since I was about 19, so closing in on 5 years of doing this now. So yes, I am, 23, despite the fact I look like I'm 16, but okay, cool story, bro. But, I mean, for him to kind of make the assumption that because, I'm on Twitter and I'm responding to his bullshit, that it means that I'm, that I think I'm higher than anyone else. No, I'm not. In fact, there's let's do a little totem pole here. Like, here's, most YouTube commentators who are successful. Here's the average person. And then there's me. There's me and pretty much every other person who's dealing with any kind of health, issue, I guess you'd call it. I don't really know how to specify it. Any kind of, health diagnosis or anything, pretty much on the scale of things, we're pretty low. Now I know what some people are thinking. Oh, you probably get disability. Yeah, I do. I'm not going to tell you how much because it's not your business, but, I do get that. I get that. I get it once a month, and yeah, it's not like a live on. Yeah, I could go out, I could buy a game or two, and but do I make Wings of Redemption money? Do I make, a couple $100 a day at least off, you know, spamming 4 shitty videos ranting about how bad my money situation is or my taxes? No, because I'm not lucky. I didn't start doing Call of Duty when Call of Duty got big in YouTube. And that's why I kinda do, grand schemes of things. And that's another thing that kinda pisses me off, getting back to the main point about the Call of Duty community, is that it's like either you're in drama, involved in drama, or you stick your nose in the drama. And it's ridiculous, dude. It's a bunch of grown men and, one little kid, Vance, do you agree? And there's just always some kind of drama. You got friggin' I Fly Illini and Raw Instincts. I mean, look at what Illini did to Raw Instinct. He took him off the map. And then you got Illini who just copying other people anyway, so, take that for what it's worth. Yeah, I said I Fly Illini is, fucking, what's the fuck I'm thinking of? I don't know. I'm sure I'll think of it later. Oh, he's a hypocrite. That's a hypocrite. He basically calls out Raw Instinct in what was like an 18-minute video showing, very bleak examples. Now, was he wrong? No, I'm not gonna say that his video was wrong and that, it wasn't true. It was true, but he goes and does the same thing behind his back, so, I don't know. What that kinda, I mean, here's people who, in the Call of Duty community, who I don't see getting involved in drama. Only use me Blade, because he's a chill ass dude. Woody's gamertag, well, he did have that one thing with White Boy last year, and then obviously Jesus, who is, yeah. And then Chris Move, who doesn't get involved in anything. I mean, Chris Move is Chris Move, and he doesn't need to be doing any of that shit, and he doesn't. And then Wicked Shrapnel. And outside of that, there really isn't much. I mean, you get the guys who do the trolling, you got Straight Up Nice, KYR Speedy. I mean, I guess even I could sound like a hypocrite here, but, Minnesota Burns gets in drama, but I love that dude. That dude is hilarious as shit. I watch BTFO every week. That dude is funny as shit. I don't care what anyone says about what he does. That shit's great. I think it's a little bit fucked up. He's been constant banned for 4 times now, but that's besides the point. I mean, all in all, Call of Duty community is just a bunch of immature, most of the Call of Duty community, it's a bunch of just immature fucks. And I would say, they say, that old saying, if you cut the head off the snake, the rest of the body dies. Take Wings of Redemption out of it, and I think that's a problem solved. Because Wings of Redemption, as he so stated when he was fake crying in that podcast, emphasis on the fake crying, is that, he's a very emotional person, sometimes I just say what comes through my mind first, and whatever, dude. Yeah. I also love how he kind of retracted that Hutch pretty much gave him the start that he needed. He goes, Hutch didn't say my channel. I did. No, I'm pretty sure Hutch helped you out quite a bit there. I know that's another dude. Hutch and C Nanners. I mean, look at C Nanners. He left the Call of Duty community basically because Modern Warfare 3 sucks. And then it's just a lot of drama anyway, so I don't know, that's why I'm gonna be sticking clear to the Call of Duty community from now on. It's really just not, I just, you know, if I was 18 again and, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, drama, yay! I'm 23 now, dude. I'm realizing that this just isn't, it's not fun. What's the point? What, am I gonna go get a gameplay of when I go, what? Let me go get a gameplay of when I go 21-3 and just sit here and talk shit about every person. What's the point? That's mostly what Call of Duty drama is. And then, it's just an endless circle. And, I don't know. I think it's bullshit. You could say that this is mainly a hate attack on Wings of Redemption, but you know what? In my eyes, and a lot of people that I talk to, in their eyes, Wings of Redemption seems to be the epicenter of a lot of drama on YouTube, so why not just, cut the head off the snake, the rest of the body just dies. And go back to everyone just uploading their gameplays and tips and tricks and tutorials without the drama. Can you imagine that? Let's imagine that for a minute. That's nice, isn't it? Huh? Yeah. Sitting there, if you're like me and you're a fan of some of these people, you follow them on Twitter. You wanna try to interact with them, and half the time it's just them blowing up your newsfeed with drama. Imagine if you could go a full year. Actually, you know what? I want to try to make an indirect challenge to the big guys on YouTube here. Let's see if you guys can go a year without drama on YouTube. Bet you don't do it. I bet you do not do it. You guys are so hyped up in meeting quotas for the month and all this other shit. So I'll tell you what. What is it? September 30th, 2012. If you guys can go to September 30th, 2013 without any kind of YouTube drama in the Call of Duty community, I'll come back and I'll close my account. Yeah, I know what a lot of people are gonna say. Oh, you're gonna close down your account with 200 subs? Oh yeah, that's gonna be so much. No, you know what? To me, that's a lot because I'm not a big time YouTuber. So here's my challenge to the Call of Duty community: go exactly 1 full year without drama. I'll close my account. Can you do it, the Call of Duty? Can you do it, Call of Duty community? Can you do it? Because if you ask me, you can't.